so we've come down to our Japanese breakfast, and we're in the same little private dining room as we were in last night, and our breakfast is all laid out, which is great because I'm really starving. I've never seen this before, this contraption. It's got some liquid in there, some kind of broth with egg tofu, and it's just simmering away a little bit there, waiting for us to dive in, and we'll put some green, I'm not sure what kind of greenery that is, some kind of lettuce. Put that in there, cook it up, and then eat it within the bowl. They give you a bowl with a scoop. And you scoop it into your bowl and eat it with some green onion and grated ginger. And we've also got some salmon, a little mushroom dish. We've got some egg omelet, which I'm really excited about because I love Japanese omelet. Rice, of course. Some Hokkaido milk, some Hokkaido yogurt. Really great spread, which is good because I'm really hungry and we need to get well fed because we are going out for a hike later today. What do you think of breakfast?
I always like these breakfasts because I find that they give me a lot of energy, and it's clean energy, not greasy and doesn't sit on your stomach.
Yeah, it's not very super carby. I mean, there's rice, but there's a lot of protein as well.
Looks enjoyable.
Yeah, let's dig in. All right, there's a dish with breakfast that I usually just give it straight to Nicole because it scares the crap out of me, to be honest. It is this pink, sort of like fish roe or fish eggy thingy, and I've seen it in the stores. It looks like a sausage.
It looks like a giant intestine filled with thousands and thousands of eggs.
Yes, like that's not helping me want to eat this.
It's delicious.
But, yeah,
I hope you hate it.
It looks like that, yeah. Yeah, you hope I hate it because you want it.
Yes.
So let's see what this is like.
You hate it, don't you?
It's not as horrible as it's actually good.
Damn it!
Yeah, I thought I would just sort of have like a gag reflex when I would eat it, but no, it's actually quite good. So I think I am going to eat this.
No!
Much to Nicole's chagrin. This is a first for me, eating this stuff. Alright, I'm going to try this tofu. So I put the green veggie in. That's what it looks like. I'm not sure what it's called, but...
Is it rocket?
It looks a little bit like arugula, but I don't think it is. So you get some of that into your bowl. And then I'll use the metal scoop. Some tofu.
That's the plain one, and that one is the egg one.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's 2 layers of tofu. Excellent.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. This might just be to flavor the broth. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like kelp. And then... Whoa. She said... pour this on top. I was not expecting it to be that long. That's interesting.
It keeps the
sauce warm.
Yes.
Okay, let's give this a try. That's very neat.
Yeah.
I've never seen this kind of a contraption before.
Do you think they'll notice it gone when they come back?
Yes, and I think I'll notice it when I'm lugging your luggage around. But there you have it.
Ginger and...
Alright, so then over here, there's a bit of shredded up green onion and grated ginger. That's what she told us to do. Vegetables, tofu, green onion, ginger, broth. Looks good.
Very good. I'm a big fan of mushrooms, but at home I noticed that they're quite different than how they prepare the mushrooms here in Japan. They like to make their mushrooms super slimy. Let's see if I can even pick it up. Ooh, look at all that slime. Let's see how it tastes. Slimy goodness.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not a earthy mushroom. It's light and soya saucy, and the texture is very it's just different from home, where it's
a different kind of mushroom than we would normally eat at home.
It feels like a nice woodish mushroom.
And you should point out that not all mushrooms prepared in Japan are slimy.
But the slimy mushrooms is a common thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd find it many, many places.
Let's see if we can get a shot of you picking one up.
This one looks easy. Ooh. Ooh, no. Stop trying to escape. Yay!
Yeah, very, very picturesque mushrooms.
They don't look appetizing, but they really are good.
Yeah, they are good. I saved the best for last. So this is the omelet, the Japanese style omelet. And the way they cook these is in layers usually. So I don't know if you can see, you can kind of see the layers in the omelet. So what they do is they have a square frying pan. They put a little bit of egg mixture in, cook it a bit, fold half over, add more egg mixture, cook it, fold the other half over, and then you just keep intricately doing this, folding, pouring, folding, pouring, until you build up a nice piece of egg here. And this is similar to what you would get as egg sushi. Let's see how this tastes. They serve it with a bit of grated daikon, but I'm gonna try it plain just to see. It's so good. The egg has a bit of sweetness to it. They add a bit of something in it to give it a bit of sweetness. And it's usually pretty creamy, really good. So I'm going to finish this piece up, and hopefully Nicole doesn't like hers so I can eat it.
Don't hold your breath.
Oh.
At our last hotel, we had a buffet breakfast, and every day I would devour 2 or 3 glasses of milk. Last night, after dinner, our hostess asked us if we wanted milk with our meal, and I enthusiastically said yes.
Milk with breakfast?
Yes, milk with our breakfast.
She gave us what, an option of juice, like apple juice, tomato juice, no, orange juice, tomato juice, or milk.
Yes, and we enthusiastically said milk.
Why?
Because the milk here in Hokkaido is very famous, and the breakfast milk in the last hotel was outstanding.
Wait till you try this stuff.
Look how small it is. It's a thimble. It's tiny. Did you say it's good?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, this milk came from a premium cow. I feel like I've never properly had real milk until this moment.
It tastes almost like butter, eh?
Yeah. No wonder they just gave you such a small little, probably from the local farmer.
Yes, there's I saw some literature somewhere around in the Ryokans mentioning that they source some milk, dairy products from a local dairy.
Wow. Yeah. Fantastic. I want more. More!
Finished breakfast, and Nicole's gone up to the room to get ready for the day, and I already am dressed, so I decided to come to their lounge and have a couple coffees because green tea is just not going to cut it for me. They have a machine in the lounge here that does coffee, and it's actually pretty good. So I'm just sitting here enjoying that. Their lounge is really nice. They have a fire pit, which isn't actually going at the moment, but they got some nice leather couches and comfy chairs to sit in. And the real reason to be down here, I think, is because of the view. Most Japanese ryokans I don't know if I can say all, but most, everyone that we've ever been to have some sort of Japanese garden. And this isn't the greatest view. Our room, which is up here, probably that room there, I think, has a bit better view. And I'll take some video up there. But yesterday when we came, there was a man out there tending to the garden. And that pond has fish in it. It has koi fish, and there's a waterfall and a bridge. And over here there's a little waterfall. Really picturesque. Very relaxing. And I was noticing over here, so here's the fire pit, which was going last night when we got here. This is where we had our matcha. It was in this chair here. I think if they have a fire going, when we come back later, we'll sit right there and enjoy it for a bit. There's an interesting view out this window over here. I just noticed that here is some of the back of our resort, part of their garden, I think. You can see some stone lanterns. And then over here, you can see this is another resort beside ours with a river going through it, small river. And I'm guessing that this area right here has got to be one of their outdoor baths because of all the steam coming out off of their hot bath. We're sort of down in a bit of a valley here. Very interesting. I wonder what these black pipes are here. Just noticed that. I wonder if that's pipe pumping in natural spring water into their resort. I don't know. Let me get back over here. Yeah, I'm not sure if we've explained this yet, but Noboribetsu Onsen is a resort town. It's a small little resort town with a bunch of onsen resorts, and that's where we're staying in one of these resorts. And ours is called Takinoya. And there's two separate bath areas at this resort for both men and women. So there's 2 for men and 2 for women. There's the upstairs bath, which I enjoyed this morning, and there's the downstairs bath, which is a bigger complex, a bigger area that Nicole enjoyed this morning. And the reason I didn't stay down in the bigger one was because it was a lot busier, and I have tattoos, so I'm trying to be a bit sensitive. They told us at the front that tattoos, when I mentioned tattoos, they got a little bit uncomfortable. So I went up to the other one, which is quieter, and yeah, I had it to myself pretty much, which was nice. And that's a really nice way to start the day, just a soak in a hot, that's a salt bath, nice hot salt bath. So I'm just waiting down here for Nicole, and then we're gonna head off. I guess I can show you the map of the area. So this is Noboribetsu, the onsen area, and we came from down here. The station is down off the map down here, and we came up here to the bus terminal. It got off the bus. That cost us about, I would say, $10 with the exchange right now, and waited here for someone to come pick us up from the resort. So he came down in his little truck you saw yesterday, his little van, and took us up here to Takinoya. So one of the reasons why we came here, other than to have a bit of relaxation in an onsen resort, was to go over here to what they call Hell Valley, Jigokudani. Probably did not pronounce that very well, but Hell Valley, where I gotta learn some more about it, but it's a bit of a crater that I think was created by volcanic activity, and now there's just a lot of geysers and whatnot there. And I guess that's a lot of the waters and whatnot must be pumped out of this area. All the natural spring water that they use in the onsens. So I guess from here we will take a walk up here to these paths and hike along the path to Hell Valley and check it out and see how much time we have, how much of the pathways we can do, because there's a whole pathway network here, different paths to take. So we want to go here. So hopefully Nicole's done soon so we can get out. It looks like there's quite a bit of hiking to do out there.
I'm ready for the Demon's Walk.
Hell Valley?
Hell Valley. There's a demon that guards over Hell Valley.
There's several demons that look over Noboribetsu. Noboribetsu Onsen have these demons throughout the little town here, and they are good demons in terms of humans. They are here to bring us good luck and best wishes in business and that sort of thing. Each demon apparently has a different thing that it's here for. These ones might be the welcoming demons. And notice the clubs. Clubs is another thing that they got going on here. You see it in the gift shops, so that you can buy stuffed clubs and little wooden clubs and whatnot. We just took a short walk from our resort up to the start of the pathways that go up inside this national park. And we're coming here to see Hell Valley. And along the way, along the sidewalk here, is a geyser. Just sort of this inconspicuous geyser everyone's kind of ignoring, but it's just sitting here spewing up steam, giving you a little glimpse of what's to come. Valley. It's this crazy crater behind me here. It was created, they called it an explosion crater, which was created by an eruption of Mount Katara nearby. That was a long time ago. It wasn't any time recently. I don't know if that is still an active volcano, but this is a very cool landscape. The landscape is almost alien. It doesn't look like this is Earth. It's really neat. Lots of steam coming up. Maybe this is what hell looks like. Who knows? But it smells, there's a lot of sulfur now. It smells like eggs. It instantly made me want an egg salad sandwich, which I told Nicole and she was kind of disgusted by that.
Very disgusted about that.
You don't want an egg salad sandwich?
Not at all. But this is hell. They did a really good job building nice viewing platforms and pathways so you can view the landscape of hell nicely.
Yeah. It's like, if you're bad, you'll be coming into this area. But they're keeping us out right now, which is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Alright, we're going to get in a little deeper to hell and see what's down there on that walkway. We are in the middle of Hell Valley now. It's a pretty vast crater and the source of lots of the hot spring, the natural spring water going into the resorts down in Noboribetsu Onsen. I think there's something like 6 or 9 different waters that are on offer at the various resorts, and much of that originates from in here.
All these streams here, it makes me want to take off my boots and stick my toes in the bubbly stream.
I think you might regret that afterwards.
I'll be scalded?
Probably.
Oh no.
It's probably pretty hot.
Oh dear.
Look at all the steam. Must be very hot.
My toes are cold.
Oh well. We come down this walkway here into the middle of Hell Valley, and we're just surrounded by all of the cliffs and the steam and the rivers gurgling away. It's really kind of cool. And right beside us here at the end of this walkway is a geyser called Teisen Ike. And it's a steaming geyser here in the middle of Hell Valley. Hopefully we'll catch them steaming and gurgling. Here, I'll give you a look around. There's the walkway we came down into Hell Valley here. There's Nicole watching the geyser.
He's not doing anything.
He's not geysing.
No bubbling.
You can see all the cliffs. All the interesting colors, the whites and oranges and greens. And this little river flowing through. Really amazing spot to be in. And we're about halfway through our hike here in this national park. We just finished Hell Valley, and we're looking over Hell Valley right now. We got really lucky with the weather again.
The weather's been spectacular. Sunny, blue skies, and it's cool, but not freezing, so just very comfortable.
Yeah, it's perfect for a hike with some uphill bits to it.
Yeah. The weather gods were smiling on us.
Yeah, definitely.
This has been absolutely beautiful, and they did a really good job planting pathways right along the geyser, so you can get right in there and really feel it.
Yeah, you get right into Hell Valley.
Good job, Japan.
Good job. All right, we're off. All right, we made it to our next spot along the hiking trail. We are here overlooking Oyunuma, which is a lake that's in the base of another explosion crater. This is another crater that was created by an eruption of the same volcano as Hell Valley, Mount Kutura. And this one here is constantly being fed by a sulfur spring. It's about 130 degrees Celsius at the bottom of this lake where the sulfur is spewing in from the geyser underneath. And at one point in the past, they actually mined the sulfur from this lake. And overlooking the lake is this is still an active volcano. You can see the steam rising from the top. And apparently a fisherman used to use this volcano to predict the weather. If it was smoking, I don't know if this is considered smoke, but if it was smoking, then weather was not going to be good. Very cool. Again, more interesting landscape. Looks a little bit more Earth-like than Hell Valley. And down here, shore here, the mud. It reminds me of jimawu, which is a Chinese dessert of ground up black sesame. And it's got like an oily look to the top of it there. Kind of interesting. You can see, I don't know if the video is picking this up, but the lake is just constantly bubbling. You can see it bubbling and steaming. And over here, up the mountain towards us a little bit, is a spot where there's steam venting out of the ground. I don't see any water, but I see a lot of steam coming up here. Really fun hike. They got a lot of paths in this national park. I wish I could remember the name. I'll look it up and put it on the screen here. We only got to go on a few of them today. A couple of them are closed because of the snow apparently. Although Nicole noticed at the bus terminal when we came in that there was a sign saying that the path to the foot bath, there's a natural spring foot bath that is around in this park somewhere, but the path to it is closed. And why did they say it was closed?
It was due to an explosion.
Yeah.
It had little marks around,
like fire type of explosion marks.
Explosion.
I asked the guy at the hotel about the footpath. I mean the path to the foot onsen and the foot springs, and he said it was closed probably because of the weather and the snow. But that doesn't really make a lot of sense because none of these paths have been all that clear. Some of them have been a little bit treacherous. So it must be the explosion.
He's keeping it under wraps.
Yeah, keeping it under wraps. All right, so we're gonna head back down out of here and check out Noboribetsu Onsen town. There's a main street with a bunch of shops. We're gonna go check that out. We found Park Lucille. If you get that reference, let me know in the comments below. But this is not actually Lucille Park. This is Sengen Park, and it's just this park surrounded by different colored clubs from the demons. And there's a geyser here. The geyser spewing out of that little chimney thing. And there's a cave over here. If we were here in December, this park would be all lit up. They do an illumination of all the clubs and around the park here, but we're just missing it. It's neat that there's a geyser like right in the middle of the town. That's pretty cool.
Michael,
Yes.
when did you get those abs?
I've been doing crunches when you weren't looking.
Wow.
Fun fact, this is the actual color of my body when I get out of the onsen.
Do you always have a club with you too?
Sometimes, not always.
I like your straw skirt and your sandals.
Thanks. So this is the Enma Shrine, and there's another demon here overlooking the spa town, making sure everything's going well. And this guy must have worked up through the demon ranks because he gets a chair, and he's actually clothed. All the other demons, unfortunately, are naked and seem to be out actually working. This guy is, I don't know, just overseeing them. Now, this is a really neat shrine. You're just sort of walking along the road here, and out of nowhere, this thing pops out from between two buildings, and this guy is staring down at you. Really neat. Back in the room after onsenning away any aches and pains that hike might have caused. I got to get into the big baths again, the same as this morning, really early this morning. We went at a bit of a weird time this afternoon, so I got to avoid anybody, which is good because when we checked in, I asked them if tattoos was going to be a problem. I have a few tattoos, and they kind of politely said no. It can be they didn't say no, but they kind of just tried to persuade me to use the baths at weird, like off-peak times to avoid as many people as possible, I guess. So that's what I've been doing. That's why I've been going a little bit earlier and going this afternoon and just trying to avoid that and be a bit respectful to their wishes. But I am a little bit curious if the general population here, like the people who come here, if they actually really care. Like, I'm this big white guy. I don't speak any Japanese. I'm lugging around bags, big suitcases, and I've got a camera in my hand pretty much all the time. I'm clearly a tourist. I clearly don't live in Japan. I'm not a gangster. I'm not part of the Japanese gang. So do they actually really care when they see me with a tattoo in the bath with them? I don't know. I don't know if it's really still a huge cultural problem in that sense as foreigners coming in with tattoos, or if it's just the resorts sort of being a little bit cautious. I'm really not sure. But whatever it is, I want to be respectful. I'm here visiting their country, and they're coming to this resort to relax, and I don't want to put any stress on them thinking that they're relaxing with a white foreign tourist, a white foreign gangster. So that's that. One of the things I mentioned when we were on our hike was that there's several types of water that get piped into these resorts. I thought there was 6 or 9. There is actually 9 different waters that come in from the craters that we saw and the lake and whatnot up in the hiking trails. So let me read them off to you here. There's sulfur, there's aluminum, there's salt, there's iron, there's acidic iron, there's mirabilite. Haven't heard of that before. There's melanterite, and I haven't heard of that either. Alkaline and radium. And each resort has a different set of waters that they provide. Our resort here, Takinoya, has 4 of those. So it has the sulfur, it has the salt spring, it has it has iron, and it has radium. So the upstairs bath that you saw the first day we were here, that I went into, the men's bath upstairs, has the salt spring, and that water was really nice to sit in, and my skin felt good after that. And downstairs, I guess in the ones you saw this morning, is sulfur, radium, and iron, and I'm not really sure which is which. Let me just double check. Yeah, both the women's, because the women's bath upstairs has a different type of water than the men's. It has iron upstairs, but both men and female downstairs has radium, sulfur. Maybe that's it. I'm not sure. Yeah, that looks like that's what they have that, but they do have 3 separate baths, and the 2 inside have very different looking waters. One's very black, and one's, well, not very black. It's like a gray black, and one's more like a gray bluish color. And then the water in the outside bath it's whiter, much whiter. So that's really interesting that they bring in so many different waters, and each water is supposed to help a different ailment. For example, the salt spring water helps lower back pain and poor circulation. Sulfur is supposed to ease chronic bronchitis, hardening of the arteries, and chronic dermatitis. I'm not sure what that is. So each water, they claim, has a different use. So really good, cool experience to come to one of these resorts. Most of the Ryokon's we've been to in the past just have one onsen bath, and I have no idea what kind of water it is. Some kind of hot spring water from somewhere. But these resorts, this is our first resort, has a wealth of different waters. So I think I'm going to get cleaned up here, get dressed, and maybe make some tea and have a sweet. It's pretty typical for Ryokon type places to offer a sweet in the room, and this one has done so. And it's some kind of bun, a bear bun. There's a bear on there. Bear seems to be a popular motif around Noboribetsu. I'm gonna guess that it's red bean paste inside, but we will find out shortly. I'll make a pot of brown tea, I think. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Wow, Nicole must really be enjoying that onsen down there. I'm still waiting for her, so I thought I would bust into the Japanese tea set that they have here. They give you a really good selection of stuff, a proper tea set. So they give you a little pot, a teapot, some cups, saucers, a tray to serve on, and 2 different types of teas. They have a green tea, which looks really good quality grassy green tea, and a brown tea, which looks woody to me, really kind of interesting. And I think that's a toasted green tea maybe. And so you put some tea leaves into your teapot, and they provide you with this big pot of hot water. It boils the water and keeps it warm for you. So you just use that in the room and fill up your teapot. And let it steep for a bit. And then you're ready to pour. So the teas and the sweet usually go really well together. I'm gonna bust into this sweet I showed you earlier. So it's a brown bun. And let's see what's inside. Yeah, it's a red bean paste. And I really like this with the tea, because the paste is really thick and sort of gets stuck in your teeth a little bit. And then the nice warm tea kind of washes it away. And it just goes hand in hand, I would say. Let's see. Some chunks of bean in it. So I'm just going to enjoy this and wait for Nicole to come up from her onsenning and just relax in the room for a bit, I guess, because dinner's not too far off. Tonight we had another kaiseki meal ahead of us, and we decided to film it from a bit of a different angle so we could give you a different perspective on how the whole meal goes down. So when we came down to dinner, we sat down to a amuse-bouche. This is the first course. It's an appetizer course, and if you're not hungry by the time you get down to the table, you will be after devouring this plate. It was waiting for us, which was great because we were really hungry and we wanted to get tucked in. As we were starting the amuse-bouche, our waitress brought in a teapot, and this teapot contained a soup. And the soup was really, really flavorful. It had a lot of ingredients in it. It had some seafood, some chicken, vegetables, mushrooms, and she brought it with a little piece of lime. And the idea is once you're ready to start drinking your soup, you squirt the lime into the teapot and then pour the teapot into a cup and drink from a cup. So after enjoying our appetizer, the second course came, and this was our sashimi course. Each course kind of has a theme, and the sashimi course included some squid, clam, and various whitefish. It also came with the soya sauce foam that we had the previous night, and another dish of plain soya sauce. The wasabi here is really good. The wasabi is fresh wasabi. So Noboribetsu is in an area which is known for growing fresh wasabi. And you can tell it's different from the regular wasabi that we're used to getting back home, which is more of just like a paste, is that when you put it in the soy sauce, it actually dissolves and you can see the little bits of wasabi as it disintegrates into the soy sauce. The next course was our meat course, and tonight we had beef. The beef was extremely tender. It was really well braised, well prepared, a lot of attention to detail. As she served us the dish, she went through every little detail on the plate and explained to us the beef and the kabuchu squash puree, and there was broccoli and roasted onions and the sauce, and she served it with some bread, some garlic toast. The meal was amazing. The dish was really well presented, and she takes a lot of care in presenting the food to us. Each dish she makes sure is arranged and positioned in exactly the right direction for us. Course number 4 was our fish course, and tonight was a roasted fish. We weren't quite sure what kind of fish it was, but it was a piece of fish roasted. It came with some lime and grated daikon, and there was a pickled leek. I think it's leek on top. That's one of my favorite things is the pickled leek, and it was really well prepared, nice and juicy, nice and soft fish. Went really well with the daikon and the lime. The next dish was a custard dish, or Nicole was saying it's a double boiled egg, and it is basically like a custard. So they prepare the egg mixture and pour it into these dishes, and then they boil those dishes in a big pot of water, and that cooks it really gently and creates a really nice smooth custard. Under the custard, there were some vegetables. There was a surprise waiting for us at the bottom of the dish. There were some vegetables and some stewed chestnuts and taro. It's kind of a nice light dish at this point in the meal. We're getting quite full, and this is sort of just a nice dish to kind of get your appetite going a little bit more, because we had one more dish coming, and that was our tempura dish, our fried dish. And we realized that this was the last dish, because usually the last dish before dessert is rice. And this one was served with rice and miso soup.
And that was kind of a telltale sign that this was going to be the last dish for the evening. Then the tempura was really nice and crispy. It came with some shrimp and mushroom, kabocha squash, Japanese green pepper, and some eggplant. They also always bring pickles, Japanese pickles of some sort, with the rice dish at the end of the meal. And dessert today looked relatively simple, but was really jam-packed with flavor. It was grapes with ice cream, and there was a sort of jelly underneath the ice cream. And what we've noticed at these types of meals in the past, whenever a grape comes, we're always really excited because the flavor of the grape is amazing. If you've ever had like Bubblicious bubble gum grape flavor, you get that really strong sort of artificial grape flavor. That's exactly what these grapes taste like, except they're not artificial. They're real. So that artificial flavor comes from somewhere, and it's these grapes. They're amazing, and the ice cream was really good and went really well with this jelly. And at the end of the meal, we had a little bit of a surprise out in the Japanese garden. I was staring out at the stone lantern by chance and noticed some movement behind it. And when I looked really close, I could see a deer. There was a deer out there in the Japanese garden, and we joked that the gardener must not be very happy with that because the deer's out there eating all of his delicately manicured plants. So after dessert, we headed back up to our room. It was a really good meal. I hope you enjoyed this vantage point of the kaiseki meal. I hope it gave you a bit better idea of course after course and how the meal is presented and how it flows through as you sit there and are pampered by your waitress.
Wow, that was a really good spread at dinner today. It was a little bit better than yesterday's dinner, I would say. A few more courses, it seemed like. I'm not 100%, but because we were super tired the first night, I barely remember that dinner. But this dinner was really good, and we thought we would show you where we sleep. So we came up yesterday when we came up after dinner. The table, which was in the middle of the room, was moved aside, and the beds were made up. The futon beds. But since we have dinner down in the restaurant, and they don't have to switch the room up every day, they just left the beds out. So these beds consist of this really fluffy comforter in this really neat sheet that wraps around the comforter to protect you from it. And this pillow is double layered, which is interesting. It's got this soft side, and underneath is a much harder side. And then the futon mattress. And it's really cozy, comfortable way to sleep. We really enjoy sleeping on the floor. If you're still watching the video, well, I say that on every video because it really is shocking that some of you are actually watching the videos to this point. And we know that some of you are because some of you have commented on things that have happened in these end cards. But yeah, thank you for watching the entire video. And if you're enjoying the video, give it a thumbs up below, like the video, that really helps us spread the word, and subscribe to our channel because we have a lot of footage to go through, a lot of videos coming out, and we're trying really hard to keep up this weekly schedule, and there'll be more stuff coming constantly.
How many subscribers do we have?
We're sitting at 32 at the time we're filming this.
32. I want 40.
What?
40! So if you're watching this video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and help us get to 40.
Yes, 32 is really amazing.
It is, but I'm power hungry and I want that big 40.
This is only video 32. This is only video 7.
Oh, yeah.
We got 32. I think we're doing okay. One small step at a time, right? But yeah, help us get to 40. So this was a really fun video to edit and put together and relive a little bit, eh? We're really enjoying making the videos because we're getting to relive our trip. And this one was a fun one.
Yeah, I'm reminded again how nice that RyoCon was and how just different each RyoCon experience is. And I don't think we've ever had a bad experience. I think that if you ever get a chance to experience one, definitely go for it.
Yeah, I mean, the meals. You saw the breakfast in this video. Yes, last week's video you saw dinner, the kaiseki dinner, and this week you got a taste or a view of what a breakfast looks like, a Japanese breakfast, which was amazing. Remember the box, the contraption they had for boiling the tofu?
Yeah.
And warming the tofu
sauce.
at the table? Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, the sauce.
The sauce.
That shocked me. Remember I pulled it out and I almost knocked the thing over because I wasn't expecting it to be so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, really neat.
Just a very tranquil experience. What do you think about Hell Valley?
Hell Valley was really neat.
Yeah. What did you think of the name Hell Valley?
Hell Valley, I think it was smart. They had a really good theme going on in the town with all the demons.
Yeah, I think that the marketing was on point there. Like they had like the spooky landscape, which I mean they didn't build. It was just happy to be there. So
It was an explosion crater.
yeah, so this spooky landscape. They had the demons everywhere, and then they were able to sell little horns and clubs all over the place. So good job them.
Yeah, it was really cool. And the Hell Valley, I think I mentioned in the video, is in a national park. So there's a big national park there, and the Hell Valley, the area you saw us hiking, was a very small piece of that. So there's hiking trails all over the park. And if you had a bit more time than we had, you could do a lot more exploring out there on the trails and visiting some more cool landscapes out there.
Yeah, so if you're a big time hiker, there's definitely lots for you to do. And if you are more casual, there's lots of laid out paths are laid out very well for you, so it wouldn't be too strenuous. So there's something for everybody.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the other paths would be like. Maybe they were all pretty well maintained.
They were, but there's lots of steep ones that will test your cardio abilities.
Yeah, there were some points where I was shooting B-roll, and the audio on the B-roll was basically me huffing and puffing. I was super out of breath after some of those uphill climbs. But yeah, really beautiful. A beautiful spot.
Yeah.
So I think that wraps this up. All right, so again, please subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos. We want to hit 40. After we disappear, a button to subscribe will be on this side of the screen, I believe. And yeah, hit that, like below. If you have any questions about anything you're seeing or you want to ask us anything, don't hesitate to ask us in the comments. We're doing our best to respond to all of those. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.